táwọn tún gbà jáde. A dúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We give glory and adoration to Allah Azza wa Jalla. We've been here since yesterday, and today is another wonderful day for all of us. If not for anything, for the gift of life. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to strengthen us, and our effort as accept our effort as an act of ibadah. Because of the topic we are to have first today, let me come in with this wakape. Orí mi jẹ́ ń jèrè ọmọ, orí mi. Gbogbo bàbá tó wà bí, ẹlẹ́dàá mi jẹ́ ń jèrè ọmọ. Mo raṣọ, mo fọṣọ, mo sáṣọ síta. Ìbáṣọ mi bàgbẹ́jẹ́ lè ká wọlé. Torí kò sẹ́ni tí ò mọ̀ pé ṣe ọmọ pọ̀ orí mi. Kò sẹ́ni tí ò mọ̀ pé ṣe ọmọ pọ̀. Kò sẹ́ni tí ò mọ̀ pé ṣe ọmọ pọ̀ orí mi. Jẹ́ ń jèrè ọmọ. Inshallah, we all are going to reap the fruits of our labors on our children. No, I can see àwọn bàbá gan orí yẹn tọ̀ sí yín pé àdúrà ńlá ni, right? But before we can say we want to reap the fruits of our labor, like I said yesterday, it is hard work. Parenting and marriage, we have to work to earn. There's no act of ibadah that you can get on a platter of gold. You have to work and sweat. Even those people that are going to hellfire, woman ṣiṣẹ́ ni ham rubber, it's not an easy thing. And 50-50, some of them will know that they can lose their life in that operation. So which means there's no free lunch even in you don't pay free time because free lunch in there. You got to work to earn. That is the way life is. It is a reality of life that we all need to know and we need to accept, because our failure to accept reality, it's a chaos. There's no two way to it, and that is why we are here today. What is our topic? We're going to be, I want it to be interactive as much as we can have it. Understanding adolescents and youth counseling. That's our topic today. This topic, why do we need it? The society we are living today, you could all see it, and you're going to agree with me that a lot of problems is happening now in our children. One way or the other is affecting us, if not us, our family, our relatives, our friends. So when we're talking about adolescents, adolescence is not a problem to be solved, but a critical period of life to be understood. Please, I want you to mark those words. The critical period of life to be understood, guided, and celebrated. It's an anonymous quote. The question is, how many of us understood our children without the mentality of the way we are being trained? Of the one that restricted them for 2 years. Did we really understood them? Are we able to guide them right? When we are talking about guiding, do we give them listening here? Do we allow them to express their feelings? Do we even believe they have feelings at all? And celebrate. How many of us celebrate our children by motivating when things are not going well with them? Because when we talk about celebration, we believe it's only when they are doing well. That we say, that's my child. Is that the only time we celebrate our children? These are questions for us as a parent that we need to look into. Adolescence is not a problem. I want you to have those quotes. Please, one of the things I will encourage us to do is all those quotes, we can be using it on our DP as a practical, intentional one. These are the things that we should be using are literate, we have our phone. These are the posts. Introduction, why focusing on adolescents and youth? Why are we doing this topic? 19 years and youth of 15 to 24 years make up over 30% of the global population. The stage is marked by the rapid physical, emotional, and cognitive and the social change. Unfortunately, the world we are living now, it is also the time of the highest vulnerability to risk behaviors, mental health issues, and identity crisis. WHO reports that half of all mental health conditions begin at age 14. Hey, gbogbo àwọn tá a ṣiṣẹ́ jẹ́ òbí, that we have children that are growing to adult from age 13. 14 is a critical age for them, that we need to be intentional with them. And this is why, as a parent, we have to be an intentional parent. Because yet most to undiagnosed, suicide is the second leading causes of death among 15 to 29 years old globally. Therefore, effective adolescent and youth counseling is not what? Therefore, effective adolescent and youth counseling is not optional, but we don't know the meaning of essential. This is why it is essential for all of us. Some of us are lucky, the grandmas among us, because Allah, so you are so blessed that you were able to train those children. They were like, oh, there's no issue. But the children of today, it's not the same thing, and that's why we are discussing this issue. When you look at understanding adolescence and youth development, how do they develop? We're talking about physical development. This is a puberty, hormonal changes, sexual maturity, challenges, body image, sexuality, and habits. Some of us, as a mother, how many of us has assessed our boy child to know when they started having that in their body? How many of us? The answer is no. Even a girl child, some of us don't know when they started their menstruation. And this is where it started. When we're talking about physical development on adolescents. Then also we have cognitive development. This is an abstract thinking, problem solving, ideal thing. The questioning authority, the challenges here is a conflict between what is and what should be. This is a identity. Imam was talking about identity and purpose yesterday, that which one is the most essential. It is the identity. Because when a child can identify into herself that, oh, this is who I am, this is where I'm coming from, this is a child of my father and my mother, and these are the consequences of my wrongdoing, he or she will be able to determine what is wrong from what is right. Because he actually knows that when he did or she did something wrong, there's always consequence. He will be able to identify that this is a consequence of what I'm about to go into, right? This is why identity is essential. Then what is purpose? How many of us is as a parent intentional about training our children to know their identity and purpose? When a child can identify identity and purpose, he will be able to know what is it and what should be. And like I cited one of the first yesterday about our purpose on earth. As a parent, we don't, even Muslims, we don't know the purpose of our existence. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَا كَلَّقْتِ الْجِنَّ وَلَا أُعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. That وَمَا كَلَّقْتِ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَانَ, Allah said, He created the jinn to worship Him alone. When we're talking about worship, majority of us, we believe is only act of, the 5 pillars of article of faith and our 5 pillars of Islam. But as a counselor, as a coach that we're aspiring to be, we need to know that our purpose needs to be identified. But if we cannot identify who we are as a Muslim, there's no way we can identify the purpose. And that is why we've come to the psychological development. When we are talking about psychological development in adolescents, identity versus the role confusion. There's always confusion in it. Like I say, who am I? What am I supposed to, what do I want to do? What is my goal? What is my plan? What is my purpose? What is my vision? It's always a problem in their age when they are without anybody, you know, to train them. And this is why, as a counselor, we need to be conscious. This is where we are reasoning before coming for this seminar. Change has to start from us now. We have to start practicing it in our home, not just until when we become, you know, the global, like people know us as a counselor. From now, we have to start change our mentality has to change from what we are before now. Also, when we look at the emotional development, this is the highest of it. Most of us don't believe that there's something we call emotional pressure, emotional torture. I could remember my daughter, the one àgbàlagbà fà kan tó fẹ́ hijack tí mo ní kò jọ. My daughter just called me one day and said, "Mommy, do you know there was a time I actually think of committing